So when the guy they call the Godfather of AI gives you career advice, you'd probably expect him to say something like, learn to code. But instead, he says this: train to be a plumber. Really? I mean, what a shocking thing to say. Why on earth would one of the most brilliant minds in computer science give such a stark warning about the very future he helped build?
That's what we're digging into today, the urgent message from Geoffrey Hinton, one of the absolute pioneers of artificial intelligence. After spending his entire life building this tech, he's now dedicated to telling us all about its dangers. So the big question is, what does he see that the rest of us might be missing?
Okay, first things first. We have to be crystal clear about why his opinion carries so much weight. This isn't just some random expert talking about AI. This is the man who pretty much made today's AI possible.
I mean, for 50 years, Hinton was the true believer in what are called artificial neural networks. He was trying to model AI on the human brain, back when most people in the field thought it was a complete dead end. But guess what? He was right. His approach is what eventually won out, becoming the very engine that powers so much of our modern AI world, including all those incredible systems that Google acquired.
And then, in 2023, he does something that just stops everyone in their tracks. He walks away from his very high-up, prestigious job at Google. And this wasn't about retirement, no. It was a very deliberate move so that he could be free, completely free to speak without any corporate filter about what he now sees as a huge danger to all of humanity. When a creator sounds the alarm about his own creation, well, that's when we all need to start paying very, very close attention.
So what exactly are these dangers he's so worried about? Well, Hinton actually breaks them down into a really clear framework. He separates all the threats into two distinct categories.
And the way Hinton breaks it down is actually pretty simple to grasp. On one hand, you've got the problem that's right here, right now: human misuse. This is all about bad people using AI as a powerful new weapon. But on the other hand, you've got the much bigger, scarier, long-term threat of superintelligence. And that's the point where AI itself could become a threat that we just can't control. So, let's start with the danger that's already knocking on our door.
So yeah, let's talk about those immediate dangers, the ones that are already happening. This is all about how people can weaponize AI for all sorts of malicious things.
And look, the list Hinton lays out, it's honestly terrifying. We're talking about cyber attacks on steroids, the very real potential for a single person to cook up a bioweapon, the ability to manipulate elections on a massive scale, social media algorithms that are designed to push us further and further in our own little polarized bubbles, and yeah, killer robots, lethal autonomous weapons. He really stresses that this isn't science fiction anymore. These are things that are being actively worked on and worried about right now.
And if you want to get a sense of just how fast this is moving, just look at one area: cyber attacks. We saw an increase of 12,200% in just a single year. And why? Well, it's partly because AI can now write incredibly convincing, personalized phishing emails at a massive scale, making it way, way easier to trick people and break into secure systems.
But as scary as all of that is, Hinton is actually even more concerned about that second category. This is where we go beyond just misuse and start talking about a true existential risk, the real possibility that AI will one day completely surpass human intelligence.
Hinton has this simple but really powerful analogy to make this threat feel real. See, as humans, we've always been the smartest things on the planet. We've never had to seriously think about what happens when we're not. As he puts it, a chicken has no clue what a human's plans are, and its entire fate is in our hands. That's the incredibly vulnerable spot we could find ourselves in.
He uses another great analogy. Imagine we're raising a cute little tiger cub. It's fascinating, it seems totally manageable while it's small, but we have absolutely no guarantee that we can control it once it grows into a full-sized tiger. And by that point, well, it's going to be way too late to do anything about it.
So you might be asking, okay, but why is he so convinced AI will beat us? And this really gets to the core of his argument. Our brains, our biological intelligence, are all unique and kind of messy. We share what we learn super slowly through talking and writing, and when we die, all that knowledge dies with us. Digital intelligence, it has none of those limits. You can make perfect copies, you can have a whole army of AIs learn different things all at once and then instantly merge everything they've learned. Their combined knowledge is basically immortal. It's not just a different way of thinking. He argues it's a fundamentally better one. And this idea of a superior intelligence, it's not some sci-fi thing happening in the distant future. Nope. It's already starting to have a massive impact on one of the most basic parts of our society:
our jobs.
Hinton gives this perfect real-world example. His niece works in a health service. A certain task, reading a complaint and writing a reply, used to take her 25 minutes. With an AI helping her, it now takes just 5. The math here is simple and kind of brutal. One person can now do the work of 5. That's not just a small boost in efficiency, it's a massive leap in productivity that's going to completely reshape the workforce.
Now, I know the common argument here is, oh, don't worry, technology always creates new jobs. But Hinton says this time is fundamentally different. Think about it. The Industrial Revolution replaced human muscle with machines. This new revolution is replacing routine intellectual work. It's replacing what our brains do. The risk here isn't just widespread unemployment, but a massive widening of the gap between the rich and, well, everyone else.
And so this all leads to this massive, kind of terrifying paradox. We may have just created the tool that could solve humanity's biggest problems, or we may have just created our very last problem.
Look, his final warning isn't him saying we're all doomed. It's more like a desperate plea for us to get serious right now. He thinks we still have a window, a chance to figure out how to manage this technology safely, but only if we wake up and recognize the true stakes of what we're dealing with. So the question he leaves us with is a really simple one. Are we taking this challenge seriously enough?